Om Asmadgurubhyo Namaha. Krishno Rakshatu no Jagatraya Guruhu. Krishnam Namasyamyaham. Krishnena Marasatravo Vinahataha. Krishnaya Tasmai Namaha. Krishnadeva Samutthitam Jagadidam. Krishnasya Dasosmyaham. Krishne Tisthati Sarvametadakhilam. He Krishna Samrakshamam. Jai Srimanarayana. Blessings of Sri Chinna Swamiji. We're continuing Bhagavad Gita, chapter 6. We finished up to sloka 6. Now, today we'll start with sloka 7. I'll start sharing my screen. You can see sloka 7.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Okay. Please chant. Jitatmanah prasantasya
Jitatmana prashantasya
Paramatma samahitah
paramatma samahitah
Sitoshna sukha dukkeshu
sitoshna sukha
Tatha manavamanayoh.
tatha
Let's chant together. Jitatmana
Jitatmana
prashantasya
prashantasya paramatma
Paramatma samahitah Sitoshna sukha dukkeshu
tatha
Tatha manavamanayoh. Lord Krishna is continuing the Atma Samyama Yoga. So in sloka 7, Lord Krishna is saying, Jitatmanaha prasantasya. Jitatmanaha, for one who has mind under control. Okay, Atma here refers to mind. Jitatmanaha, one whose mind has become under control. So for one whose mind is under control, prasantasya is who has control, who has senses under control. Okay, for the one who has mind under control and senses under control, when sitoshna sukha dukkeshu, in sita ushna is in cold and heat, sukha dukkha in joy and grief, right? Sitoshna sukha dukkeshu, seventh vibhakti, in sita and ushna, sukha and dukkha, tatha mana avamanayoho, in honor and dishonor. Mana is honor, avamana is dishonor. So one whose mind and senses under control, in cold and heat, joy and grief, and honor and dishonor, Paramatma samahitaha. Paramatma samahitaha. Samahitaha is well placed or is clearly realized. So for that one who has senses under control, mind under control, Paramatma is clearly realized. So here Paramatma refers to the Atma only, the exalted Atma, in the elevated Atma, right? So it's not Bhagavan Paramatma, right? So Atma in its supreme state or elevated, exalted state. So for them, they will be able to clearly realize the pure state of Atma or elevated state of Atma. So the prerequisites are mind under control, self under control, senses under control. In Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, Mana, Avamana. Okay. Any questions there? So here, these dualities come in several slokas. Very, very important that we maintain balance. So maintaining balance in dualities itself is called yoga, right? So for that one who is maintaining balance in these dualities, for that person, Atma is realized. Only for such a person, Atma will be realized. Okay.
So basically, does it mean that it won't affect that person, right? What I mean is like when he's realizing that Atma experience, these things, dualities won't affect him. That's what it is.
So it's a good question. So which one comes first? First, you have to control your mind and senses, and for such a person, Atma is realized. Or for one whose Atma is realized, their mind and senses are under control in these situations.
They go hand in hand, I guess.
Yeah, it's
Other way around, right? I think you need to start from the controlling duality, those kind of things. Then you'll get to that stage. That's what I thought, right? But this is a prerequisite, pretty much, Dvandvas and all those things.
yes,
To
yeah.
get.
Yeah. Sthita prajna, different states of sthita prajna we learned in second chapter. So first, we need to control ourselves. From there, it starts progressing, right? So first, we need to control our mind and senses under these situations. When we will do it is when we know that we are different from body, we are separate from body. So it starts with that knowledge, but we do not realize Atma unless we practice it, right? So just having that knowledge is not sufficient. Without that knowledge, we'll never be able to realize Atma. That's for sure. And with that knowledge, we start our progress. So we slowly control our mind and senses under these dualities to be not affected by them, to be balanced in those situations. Then our Atma realization becomes stronger and stronger. We will not be focused on those external things, right? See, maintaining balance means not affected by them, as you said, right? So not affected by them. When we are not affected by them, where is our focus? Our focus is inwards. So we are continuously practicing the Atma vision. If we are focused outwards, that we are affected by cold and heat, then we are not thinking about ourselves, right? Very simple. If we are thinking about the weather always, then are we doing our job? It's a simple thing, right? If you are affected by what's happening outside, sitting in front of a computer but thinking about what's happening outside, then we'll never be able to do our work, right? So if we shield ourselves from the outside world by sitting in a place where we can focus, concentrate, then we are, in the real world example, I'm saying I'm able to focus on my work. So in case of Atma realization, to become a yogi, to be, for us, we cannot simply shield ourselves from the entire world, right? We cannot separate ourselves or segregate ourselves into a corner and not do anything. So we have to live in this world. When we are living in this world, what are the dualities that we come across? We come across, the temperatures, different temperatures. So that is how our physical body experiences differences. Sita and Ushna, right? And any of our senses, external senses, what they experience. Okay, loud noises or sweet noise, or smells or whatever our senses are experiencing, various degrees of what we like, what we don't like, kind of thing, right? So Sita and Ushna is our senses are they are designed to tell us whether it is hot or cold outside. Our ears are designed to tell us, it's loud or not, right? Our tongue is designed to feel the hot or sweet. So these are designed, by design they are there, but not being affected by them. And Sukha Dukkha is our mind. Our mind is the one that is telling us it's a joy or grief based on those experiences. So we have some expectations, and if those expectations are met, we are happy. Expectations are not met, then we are sad, in one example. Or if what we like is separated from us, then it's a grief for us, things like that. So it is the mind that is telling us. And mana and avamana is honor, dishonor is also like based on our expectation, based on our mind, which tells us, I'm honored or dishonored, right? Somebody praises or criticizes us. So we remain balanced in those, we're not affected by them. So that means our mind and senses are under control. Then we will be able to focus on Atma. Then only we will be able to realize Atma.
But on the other hand, in general, in English, right, a person who is thick-skinned need not be an enlightened person, right? I mean, we always see in general, people are very thick-skinned. It doesn't affect them. So it may not be true, like, it need not be a.
So one who is not affected by them, there are two possibilities. One is, they are not, they have not defined, that, they have to be affected by this or not. Thick-skinned is one who does not get affected. You could say an ignorant person also doesn't feel it. One typical example. So I saw a deer one day in one of the videos. It is drinking water from a lake, and then all these hippopotamus, the huge animals are there around it. The deer is not even sensing that it is going to die. It's simply, it's not like, maybe internally it may be having the fear, but, and then the hippo attacked the deer. It's still not running. It's, just as if nothing is going to happen to it, almost like a sadhu. So it is in that case, it's ignorance. The deer is not, just taking the example, like ignorance doesn't mean, with ignorance, let us say I'm not affected by external things. It does not mean that I am having self-realization, right? So one who is not affected by something because of ignorance, that we cannot equate, as you rightly said, we cannot equate it to that a person is enlightened person. But you have the knowledge, but still not affected by it, is what is required here. So one who is totally ignorant, simply not interacting with the world at all, it doesn't mean that they will have self-realization. Okay, so that's the first thing. mind and senses under control. And just a simple question, how can we get mind and senses under control? Anyone?
One way to do that is by acquiring the knowledge of our true nature. And
Yeah, that is a prerequisite. Yes.
Meditation.
Body, we are not body.
yes.
Yeah,
Karma yoga.
that is the knowledge that we need to have. Yes, that is a prerequisite. But
Yeah.
just having that knowledge is sufficient for us to control our mind and senses.
I think doing karma yoga will be the path to actually purify the mind.
Yes, so doing the karma yoga.
Karma yoga, yeah.
So even more simpler terms.
Sacrificing desires. I mean, not having desires.
Yes, yeah. Starting with not having desires. So perform karma yoga is what is nishkama karma, right? Doing our duties. Nishkama karma is nothing but karma yoga. So doing our duties without having desires, without having expectations that a particular result will come for my own benefit, for my own enjoyment. So doing karma yoga, that's why karma yoga is given as the basis for us to, start doing things. When we start performing our actions as karma yoga, then we start getting mind and senses under control. Otherwise, just living normally and saying that, oh, I need to have my mind and senses under control, it will not happen. They are designed to run after, senses are designed to experience hot and cold, for example. Our skin is experiencing hot and cold. We can't say skin, should not be affected by cold or hot temperatures at all. That doesn't happen. Even for a sadhu, they also feel that temperature, whether it's hot or cold, even for a yogi. But they're not affected by it. They do their duties by not getting affected by them. Right? I mean, if it is harmful, of course, you don't do any activity under extreme hot or extreme cold. Not being affected by it doesn't mean that you should, run into, minus 100 degrees centigrade and then without any protection. Doesn't mean that. But basically, when the external experiences should not be impacting what we are trying to do, right? Our external experiences should not be deviating our path, our path of doing our whatever is dharma for us. Our swadharma needs to be done irrespective of this what's happening, right? If somebody is praising or criticizing, or the weather is good or bad, as much as possible, if it is not hurting us, we should be going ahead and doing, and not taking, not changing our activities in order to suit our desires. Like, I always should get praise, I have to get good experiences, comforts. That should not be the case. If that is the case, how can soldiers, do their duty in a like border when there's the weather is not good? They're standing outside and doing their duties. They will not be able to do it. Right. Okay. So next.
So are we saying there's no difference between what Krishna said about tasya prajna pratishtita versus this where we have to keep the equanimity of the mind, right? So pretty much it's the same thing he's saying, correct, sir?
Yeah, lot of things get repeated several times in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah, and in various, from various angles.
Right. Okay. Yeah, but it means the same in other words, right, sir?
That's a prajna pratisthita. For that person, the self-realization, the sthita prajna, they will become well established in Atma. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, sir.
Thank you. So next sloka. Share my screen. Sloka 8. Please chant. Jnana Vijnana Truptatma
Gnana
Jnana
Vijnana
Vijnana
Atma
Kutasto Vijitendriyaha
Kutasto
Kutasto
Vijitendriyaha
Yukta Ityuchyate Yogi
Yukta
Yukta
Ityuchyate Yogi
Samalostasmakanchanaha
Samaloष्टाश्मकाञ्चनः
Jnana Vijnana
Vignana
Truptatma
Atma
Kutasto Vijitendriyaha Yukta
Yukta
Ityuchyate
Ityuchyate Yogi Samalostasmakanchanaha. So in the previous sloka, Lord Krishna said, the one who has mind and senses under control. Now here, Lord Krishna is saying in this sloka, Jnana Vijnana Truptatma. One who is solely content with Jnana and Vijnana. Trupta is being content, Atma, whose mind is content, or who's one, who's basically content with Jnana Vijnana. So what is Jnana and Vijnana? Jnana is knowledge. Knowledge of what? Knowledge of Atma. Okay, they're Atma, not body. Okay, they're different from body. That is knowledge. That is Jnana. Vijnana is that the Atma is distinct from the nature. It has the unique qualities of Atma, that the qualities that we have learned in second chapter, right? So with all those unique qualities, it is different from the nature. Okay, so that is Vijnana. Okay, so imagine this, right? So if we think that material nature is superior, right, we'll run after that, isn't it? Very simple. If we think that we, Atma, is distinct and much more superior compared to the material nature. Material nature is changing, transient. It is not permanent. Right? If you can compare Atma is unchanging, eternal. It has the knowledge. Material nature does not have the knowledge. So once you know about Atma, ourselves, and we are distinct from nature, we are superior compared to the nature, obviously what we will do, where we will focus on, right? So that is the for one who has knowledge and the distinct knowledge. Vijnana is distinct knowledge. Knowledge of Atma, I mean knowledge that they are Atma, different from body. They are not body. The distinct knowledge is the knowledge that Atma is superior compared to nature with all its qualities. Okay. Then, so for that one, and then Kutasthaha Vijita Indriyaha, one who meditates on unchanging Atma. Kutasthaha is one who is meditating on the unchanging Atma. Vijita Indriyaha, who controlled or conquered their senses. Again, it's coming, conquering senses is coming. Okay. And Sama Losta Asma Kanchanaha. Sama is considering as equal. What they are considering as equal? Losta Asma Kanchanaha. Clay, stone, and gold. Considering clay, stone, and gold as equal. Okay. We'll go into that. I mean, that's very deep. Then yogi yuktaha iti uchyate. Yogi is that karma yogi. Iti uchyate is said to be yuktaha, is fit to experience Atma vision, is fit to experience Atma realization or self-realization. So who realizes Atma? The previous sloka is the same thing, mind and self senses under control, and who is balanced in all these experiences. That's one. Here in this particular sloka, one who has the knowledge and the distinct knowledge of Atma. Atma is different from body. Atma is superior compared to nature, with all its distinct qualities. And Kutastha Vijitendriya, Kutastha, one who is meditating on the Atma, controlling the senses, and considering clay, stone, and gold as equal. For that one, such a person is fit to realize Atma. Right? So, Samalostasma Kanchanaha is considering this as equal. I mean, in the previous sloka, we have the equality, I mean, the balance when you in Sita and Krishna, Sukha Dukkha, Manava, right? But here, the balance is in clay, stone, and gold. What does that mean? Considering the, clay, stone, and gold as equal.
Material world, for him it won't matter.
Right. Yeah. I mean, so we have obviously gold is much more valuable compared to stone. Maybe stone is referring to maybe like slightly expensive stone, beautiful looking stone, right? Clay is totally lower compared to even a stone, right? So all this considering as equal, what does that mean? So they're not going to, say for example, gold, it has value. Okay, it will make some, we run after gold, let us say, compared to clay and stone, obviously, right? So why do we run after them?
Because of its value.
Because of its value. And value for who?
Yeah, people think it adds value to them, the body.
The
For
body.
material benefit. Material benefit.
Yeah, it is value for body. For Atma, all three are same, right? There's no difference for Atma. Like when you are wearing gold chain or diamond necklace or a gold necklace or some stones, which is worth $10, it is, I mean, it is not increasing or decreasing the value of Atma. It's not adding any value to Atma. It is for body. So if I'm running after them, I'm thinking that I'm body. See, as far as the value, material value is concerned, they have different values. I'm not denying that fact, right? But that is not, the difference in value is not for the Atma. It's only for the materialistic world, right? It's only for the body. Body gets beauty, beauty if I'm wearing gold necklace. Or body is, somebody may treat me like a king if I'm wearing all the gold ornaments, right? Again, it's for body. They're not treating Atma as king, isn't it? If somebody is putting a gold diamond, gold and diamond necklace on us compared to flowers, who are they really, decorating? For who it is making a difference? It is making difference for the body, not for Atma. So for then, if I am Atma, for me, those are all equal, have no value for me, or equal value for me, right? So considering all these are equal, I mean, we can extend it to anything, right? I mean, if I need to eat something to live, right? Whether I eat in a gold plate or a normal plate is not going to make a difference for me, isn't it? I mean, I'm eating that gold plate. Why you run after that gold plate or a silver plate and not a regular plate or even a plate made of just paper or clay? Has no value for whatever I'm eating. That food is valuable for me, not the plate, isn't it? So let's say we are living in a house, again, spending so much money on decorations and all that is increasing the value of the house. Has nothing, no impact on me. But unfortunately, by running after them, we are acquiring a lot of karmic bondage, right? As long as if we have money and we just do it as a matter of fact, nobody is saying that you should not spend money or earn money, right? But we have to recognize that those are all for the, for materialistic needs for my body, not for me. As soon as we know that it is not for me, things will change, right? If I think that I am wearing the gold necklace and everybody is appreciating me because of that, then I will run after that. But if thinking that my body is wearing it and only my body is getting the benefit out of it, I'm not getting any benefit, then I will not run after it. And by running after it, I'm actually acquiring karmic bondage, which is actually making me suffer more, right? So I'm negatively impacted, not positively impacted. Even though my body is positively impacted, I'm getting negatively impacted. So if I think that if I'm negatively impacted, we'll not be doing it. So, got it? So who considers clay, stone, and gold as equal is they have materialistic value, have no value for the body, not for myself. They have equal value for me. Okay.
Specifically, jnana, vijnana. So jnana means, you said, knowledge as of Atma. And vijnana is knowing that Atma is different from all the objects around the world. That's what vijnana is.
Yeah, distinct from nature. Yeah, prakriti. So one is Atma and prakriti. So Atma is has distinct qualities compared to nature. Right? You have all the qualities of Atma, they don't apply to nature, right? So we need to understand those differences. So when we are running after things for which are materialistic in nature, they are not for body. Sorry, they are not for Atma. Because now I know that Atma is distinct from nature. And also, Atma is superior compared to nature. Right?
Yeah, Atma is, yeah. Or is superior of all other than Paramatma, right? Probably. Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah. And Atma is superior compared to the nature. Atma is permanent. Nature is not. Okay. So one of the examples that itself is very clear. Superiority. So we will, so anything in that nature, the materialistic may be different for as far as nature is concerned, the materials are concerned. Okay, they're all distinct materials, but the value is same for Atma. Or no value, no, actually no value also. Has no value.
The body.
Right. I mean, acquiring gold or acquiring clay has equal value for Atma. Another way of looking at it is, so if I run after gold, I get more karmic bondage compared to if I run after clay. Is it true?
There's more value for the body. That's why you get more karmic bondage.
No, both are equal for Atma. So what I'm running after is not going to make any difference for Atma. Right? I'm going to get, the fact that I'm running after that is going to give me a karmic bondage. So it does not matter whether I acquire gold with let us say I'm doing something that is not karma yoga, for example, right? And I'm having a desire for gold and acquire that, or don't acquire it. I'm having a desire, I'm running after that. Okay. And instead of gold, I have a desire for diamonds, and then I'm running after it. Does it? Will the karmic bondage be different because diamond has more value than gold? No. Who is assigning value for any of these things? I mean, today, gold is, let us say, $100 and diamond is $1,000. If, let us say, they find a lot of diamonds suddenly in the world somewhere, right? And then, you have too much supply compared to demand. And then let's say gold is totally out of supply and the value for gold increases. So it's arbitrary value, has no value for Atma. those values are, I mean, it's also like, anything, any materialistic thing, right? The value changes up, goes up and down compared to each other also. So for Atma, there's no difference. You run after X or you run after Y. You have a desire for a house or a desire for a gold necklace or desire for, a car, a desire for that. I mean, the values are all different, but the amount of karmic bondage we get is equal. Equal in the sense not defined by saying that, oh, car is $40,000. Running after a diamond necklace is like $100,000. So you should get 2.5 times if you're running after gold. No, that's not how it works. I mean, so that's another way of looking at it. It's equal for me. I get the same karmic bondage whether I run after A or B or C. The value of A or B or C doesn't make a difference for me.
I have a question on Kutastham.
Yeah.
So what does that specify in this context? Like unshaken or you are not
Unchanging.
moved?
So Kutastha is, I mean, the word indicates, you probably have seen that iron smiths, I mean, people who heat the iron rod and then place on the kind of block of iron, then heat it, right? So when they do that, see this block of iron, it's like thick block of iron, is also iron, but they place another iron on top of it and then beat that iron. So the iron rod bends, but not the one that is below, right? That is unchanging. So Kutastha refers to that, I mean, Kutastha is being established in that, but I think the word refers to that block of iron that is, they use it in foundry. So it is unchanging. Same way, the Atma is going from one body to another body. Atma is unchanging, even though the bodies change. So imagine these bodies are like those heated rods, right? So one way of looking at it is this same Atma going from one body to another body. Does Atma change because it acquired a body of a deer compared to a lion compared to a human? No, it has the same nature. Okay, so that's one way of looking at it. Another way of looking at it is when within the same body, when the body is changing, will Atma change? Like it will age with the body, or it will, the body is, male or female, or, white or black, or, has 4 legs or 6 legs. I mean, it really does not matter for Atma. So what is, the body could be changing, that the one that is it occupies within that same janma, okay, of within that birth, the body may have sickness, may have health, all these things doesn't matter for Atma. It doesn't change. And when Atma goes from one body to another body also, it doesn't change. So it is always that unchanging. So I am meditating on that unchanging Atma. I am not focused on the one that is changing, which is the nature. Okay, so when I have the knowledge of Atma, when I have a knowledge that it is distinct from the nature, when I am meditating on this Atma, which is unchanging, even though it occupies different bodies and the bodies are changing, when I have my senses under control, when I consider all these materialistic objects have equal value for me, or even no value for me as an Atma, such person is fit to become a yogi, or such person is fit to achieve self-realization. Okay. We'll move on to sloka 9. Listen. Sohrunmitraryudasina
सुहृन्मित्रार्युदासीन
मध्यस्थद्वेषबन्धुषु
मध्यस्थद्वेषबन्धुषु
साधुष्वपि च पापेषु
साधुष्वपि च पापेषु
समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते.
समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते.
Listen. Sohrunmitraryudasina मध्यस्थद्वेष्यबन्धुषु साधुष्वपि च पापेषु समबुद्धिर्विशिष्यते. In the previous sloka, Lord Krishna said, considering clay, stone, and gold as equal. Now is going further on what we are treating as equal. Okay, the one who is fit to become self-realization, one who is fit to become yogi, so who is that? Samabuddhihi visishyate. Samabuddhihi is one who thinks in equal regard, one who is thinking as equal, with equal regard. Suhrat mitraha. So Suhrat is a friend. Okay, may not be of the same age. So Suhrat and Mitra. Mitra is also a friend, but there is a difference. Suhrat is one who may not be of the same age. Could be lower age, could be a higher age. There's no, it doesn't matter. Age does not matter. And Mitra is one who is of same age, right? One who is well-wisher for us may not be of same age. Even could be a lower age, higher age, same age, all that. Suhrat is a well-wisher or a friend of any age. And Mitra is a friend of the same age. Ari is enemy. Yeah, right? Ari is enemy. Udasina is a stranger. Okay, Udasina is a stranger who is neither a friend nor an enemy. Madhyastha is a neutral person. Okay. Dveshya is a born enemy, one who is having ill will, who is hating by birth. Okay. Bandhushu. Bandhu is a relative, who is wishing well by birth. See, Bandhu is like family, our family, who is always our well-wishers by birth, right? We are born into a family who is a relative. Dvesha is by birth they're enemy. We haven't done anything to them, but they always wish bad for us. Very great examples we have nowadays. So two people in two different countries hate each other for no reason. They have not done anything to each other, but they are brought up with hatred from birth. Unfortunately, that's what is happening in the world. Between two countries, and of course, in some cases, between two lineages, two families, two different cities, people in two different cities, or between two different cultures. And of course, nowadays it's become unfortunately very bad between two different religions for no reason. I mean, they haven't done anything to each other to hate each other as a person, but somehow they are taught from their birth that, hey, anybody belonging to this country or this sect or religion is your enemy. So that is dvesha. And so Suhrut Mitra is a friend, Ari is the enemy. Udasina Madhyastha is one who is a stranger, I mean, who have no reason to be a friend or an enemy, right? Just a stranger. And Madhyastha is one who takes, takes the neutral stand. Okay, and then who is neither a friend or enemy. Having equal regard in all these people.
So this madhyastha is not an adjective for the yogi that he's saying here. He's saying
No.
the kind of type of people.
So
Madhyastha.
let's say I'm a yogi. I should have equal regard for a friend or an enemy, a neutral person for whatever reason it is, or a family member, or one who is hating me. Okay, one who is hating. And one more thing, sadhu. Sadhushu is like the plural of a seventh case in Sanskrit. So sadhus, in sadhus is in virtuous people, pious people, right? Papeshu is in sinners. Okay. So if I have equal regard, if I consider them with equal regard, all these different people, okay, vishishyate, that person is the best, is the one who excels, one who becomes successful in what? Successful in achieving self-realization.
Isn't it very tough in a warlike situation where you're in a war field and you think all of them are same? How can you fight?
You're doing the duty, not out of hatred, not out of any benefit that you'll get, right? Not for self satisfaction. So if that is our duty, we do it. So if there is injustice going on, one person is doing injustice, harming, hurting people, animals, nature, that person needs to be punished, let us say. We take that action, but it is not because we hate that person or we get some enjoyment out of it. Okay. So unfortunately, again, this hatred, when somebody builds up this hatred and acts to take action on the whoever it is, that person will never become yogi. Okay. One who is taking action because he's my friend, then I need to do this, also doesn't become a yogi, right? So have all these people, right? There is no benefit to us from any of these people. As means Atma. So somebody is hating me, for example. What am I losing? I'm not losing anything. Somebody is he's a well-wisher. Am I gaining anything having 100 well-wishers? Think about it. They're praising me, every day or something like that. Do we gain anything out of it? I mean, that's why, when you see these yogis, right? They, let us say, they are in a big, dais, and everybody is praising them. You don't see any difference in them. They will be just neutral, because all those praises have no value for them. They're not going to, the praise is not going to take away any of their karmic bondage, or going to add any karmic bondage to them. See, what Atma cares about is whether I'm getting cleared or not. That's all. Everything else is material in nature. So if I get affected by it, then the first thing, right? First sloka today. So manava manayoho. If I'm getting affected by the praise and criticism, then I'm not eligible to become a yogi, to get self-realization. So this is explicitly saying, okay, if we are not treating them with equal regard, all these people, then we are not eligible to become karma yogis. It does not mean that we have to tolerate a person who is doing injustice, or we have to, does not say, oh, I have to treat with equal regard means I have to punish those people who are doing good and praise those people who are doing bad. No, right? Or not take any action on any of these people, that also no, right? Because very clear that Lord Krishna asked Arjuna to, take care of the injustice in the society. So, but all these people are not going to, just by having them, is not going to have any value for me. There is no benefit to me with these people. One person is a friend, one person is enemy, one person is hating, one person is loving, one person, they have no value for me, or equal value for me. There is nothing to gain or lose from anyone else in this world, whether they're wishing good or evil, or not wishing anything at all, right?
So that means you are looking at their Atma, not body or actions.
No, it doesn't mean that I'm looking at Atma or not Atma, just looking at the body. It doesn't matter. The people, here we are talking about the person itself. Like in case of treating with equal regard clay, stone, and gold, we are looking at it from a material point of view only. We're not looking at Atma inside that, Atma inside that. Yes, that is one way of looking at it. If you look at that way, then all of them have Atmas in them. All Atmas are equal. That we have already learned. That we already learned in previous chapter. So here, if I'm not affected by the material value, I'm not affected by all these people who are wishing me well, who are hating me, and who are not showing anything to me, like they're simply neutral, right? If I'm not affected by them, treating them with equal regard, that I have nothing to gain or lose from them. Okay, from an Atma perspective. Okay, then I will be the one who, that person, then only I am eligible to become self-realized, or I will be on the path towards self-realization. Otherwise, what happens is we'll run after the, right? I mean, we want to gain as many well-wishers as we can. We want to hurt all those people who are hating us. So our duties become that only. We are running towards that, right? To increase the well-wishers, to do everything for those people, and to do everything bad to those people who are hating. Let us say we get successful. Imagine, let's say even if we become successful, hasn't done anything to my Atma and myself. I didn't gain or lose anything. I mean, I've lost, not gained anything, just because I earned 1,000 people well-wishers. So in another way of looking at it is doing any action to get praise from people. Thinking that it will give me, it will clear my karmic bondage. No. It's good that you have to do those activities, and we have to do it as service to God. Okay, then our karmic bondage is cleared. But thinking that, oh, if I do these things, take care of all the people, and I am going to get something. In fact, we are getting karmic bondage. Okay. So we treat all this as equal. So whatever is our duties towards them, we will be doing, and not change our duties because of those people.
One small question, sir. Why is still distinguished between enemies and the people that can be hated by us? Even enemies, I mean, enemies in general, say, you think there is a difference? I mean, in general terms, we hate enemies or enemies.
Yeah, so we have enemies who are wishing evil to us. And there are, as I said, those who are hating, they're simply hating.
For no reason.
You can see hatred in the world. I mean, I don't want to be controversial on the regard, but you see hatred. I mean, so say enemy is, let us say, I somehow I ended up in fight with somebody, right? That person became an enemy for me, or he is considering me as enemy, or I'm in competition with somebody. So then they may consider me as an enemy. I may consider them as an enemy. So that is one, right? But simply for no reason, I don't even know that person in my life. But when I come, face to face, that person hates me.
Okay.
Or, right? Why?
Yeah.
Of course, then they may treat me as enemy also. That is the next step. But that hatred is what Lord Krishna is referring to here. Those haters, or those relatives who are for no reason they're liking me, right? I mean, let us say we meet two strangers are fighting on road for some reason, right? Suddenly they come to know that, oh, we are all related. Their total perspective changes, right? So just because they are related, now they are treating with with love, respect, and care, and all the stuff, right? So that's the difference between the two.
Okay.
So all these people are equal for me, treating them with equal regard. Just like in case of gold and stone, if I have gold or think that, oh, this is as good as stone and let me throw it, I won't do that, right? That's not what Lord Krishna is saying here. Treating a stone and gold as equal doesn't mean that we throw the gold and keep the stones with us. Okay, in the same case, when well-wisher and haters are there, don't, okay, treat them equal means you try to gain as many haters as you can, or you hate everybody. It's equal to as well-wishing everybody. It's not that case. Basically, they have equal value or no value for me. Okay, no value in terms of they are not affecting my karmic bondage. Equal value when I say that I run after them, it does not matter what's the value, material value assigned to it. I will get equal karmic bondage. Or if I do the activity to them as a duty, doesn't matter who it is, my karmic bondage will equally be reduced. Whether I'm doing service to a well-wisher or a hater, if I'm doing it as service to God, my karmic bondage has equally reduced.
Varaprasad,
Okay.
sorry, I have a question in there.
Sure.
I'm just building up on Param's question, right? I mean, I don't know, maybe we'll take for the next 10 minutes on this one. So in that war, right? I think 90% of Duryodhana's army may not know that Duryodhana is a bad guy, right? Because they're just doing a service to his master, right? They are just working for him, right? So they don't even know that Duryodhana is bad, because for them, he's his boss, right? I'm sure most of, at least me and some of us, right? We work in a bank, okay? Bank might be doing a lot of fraud, other things, but we may not even know, right? So, I mean, will there be a baggage kind of a thing, karmic bondage, we're going to get attached, even for the Duryodhana's army, right? They're just doing a duty, sir. So,
No, they won't. It's a very good question. So I think it is direct corollary of this particular sloka, right? So if I'm doing my duty, if I do my duty as part of the duty, whatever, whether I'm, if I'm purely doing it as duty, of course, people who are fighting for Kauravas, they may have all kinds of baggage. I'm not saying that, but let's say someone purely doing duty, let's say working in a bank, I'm just doing my duty, right? As service to God. The duty, whatever may be, if overall something is bad is happening, it's not going to impact me. Right.
Though they know that some fraud is going on, still they perform as a duty. They don't
No,
carry any.
then it is a problem.
Oh, okay.
See, why would somebody intentionally commit fraud, intentionally hurt somebody? Unless they think that they're getting some self
Benefit.
satisfaction.
Mhm.
Yeah. Otherwise, the dharma doesn't say that unnecessarily hurt somebody, right? So that is what is fraud. Let us say take a classic example of a cop versus a terrorist, right? Cop is also, let us say, running after bad people and doing the same activity. A terrorist also does the same activity of running after people and doing the activity same. But in case of one, it is the dharma to support the society, to sustain the society, right? It's an action that is supporting the entire society, it is not destroying the people or nature, whatever it is, right? So that is what cops are doing. And then in case of terrorists, let us say they are hurting people for their own reasons. Okay, so it becomes a problem, and they will be acquiring karmic bondage and not the one who is doing their duty.
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, 7 minutes left, so maybe one more sloka. Okay, let's chant. Please chant. Yogi yunjita satatam
योगी युञ्जीत सततम्
atmanam rahasi sthitah
आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः
ekakiyata chittatma
एकाकीयत चित्तात्मा
nirasira parigraha.
निराशीरपरिग्रहः
Let's chant together.
योगी युञ्जीत
Yunjita
सततम्
satatam
आत्मानं रहसि स्थितः
sthitah
एकाकीयत चित्तात्मा निराशीरपरिग्रहः
Lord Krishna is saying, yogi is karma yogi. Yunjita satatam atmanam, must constantly meditate on atma. Okay. Ekaki rahasi sthitaha, staying alone in a secluded place. Yogi yunjita satatam atmanam ekaki rahasi sthitaha. How yata chitta atma, yata chitta atma, restraining mind from frivolous thoughts. Frivolous thoughts is like thoughts have no purpose, no serious value or purpose. I know our mind keeps thinking about all the things that have no purpose. Okay, so restraining our mind from those. Nirasihi is free from desires. Free from desires other than Atma. So this is how Lord Krishna is saying one should meditate. Okay, the previous two slokas who are eligible to attain self-realization. Then now he is talking about how to control and how to meditate, right? So we have to constantly meditate on Atma, staying alone in a secluded place, not in a crowded, noisy, and place where we are disturbed. How do we meditate? Is restraining our mind from wandering around into different useless thoughts. Nirasihi, free from all desires. Like if I start meditating, sitting in a secluded place and start meditating, and immediately the thing I can think of is, okay, I need to buy a car. I need to maybe do this, all materialistic things. No, have no desires other than I want to attain Atma, right? That is my desire. Aparigraha is without sense of possession, again other than Atma. The only thing that we have is Atma, isn't it? What are we possessing? Nothing. When we came into this world in this body, we didn't bring anything, any materialistic value stuff. when we go, even if we have billions of dollars, that person leaves, has no, the Atma is not going to carry the bank balance, or houses, or cars, or anything. So all those possessions you keep aside. One is the desire to acquire more. Those desires, keep them aside. And even keeping aside any sense of possession, I have this, I have that, that kind of a thing. Just clear our mind of possessions, desires, and all these various thoughts which have no value for us. Okay, and sit in a secluded place and meditate on it. That's what this sloka is saying. And it's very important to meditate constantly. Satatam is saying, right? Satatam is periodically, constantly, daily, right? So restraining the flow of thought. So when I'm meditating, I'm only meditating on Atma, not on all the desires, all the possessions that we have, all the relationships that we have, or all the things that are going on around in the world. Just keeping all those things away, just focus on Atma alone and meditate. So that's what a karma yogi must do, Lord Krishna is saying.
Prasad garu, sorry, I know we're out of time, but I think maybe
Sure. No, we can. I think 1 minute left.
yeah. So, I mean, in last few slokas, right, or maybe even prior chapters as well, if you look at the steps, right? I think karma, he has to be karma yogi, then Atma realization kind of a thing, right? That's what we learned. But I know that in chapter 9, I'm just trying to find that, chapter 10, right? There are 4 different stages, right? And Atma realization is third stage, I think. A third, no, 4 different categories, I think, right? You remember that? Maybe I don't remember that sloka, but yeah, right? Explains that. So third category is Atma realization, right? But there's a 4th category as well, that more like reaching the ultimate, right? Reaching Paramatma, right? So,
Yani,
I mean, sorry?
Chaturveda bhajante mam jana
Exactly, right? Yeah. So why is it's talking
Artha
about this is not the
Jnasarvata.
final stage, because this is still there's another step to this one, right?
So first is meditate on Atma, right? Now immediately, I mean, he says, meditate on me, considering me as supreme. He's saying. So Atma is abstract,
Okay.
isn't it? What are you going to meditate on? Tell me. How are you going to meditate on Atma?
I mean, that's what we want, right? We meditate on self. That's what it says, self internally, right? I mean, want to meditate on self. But at the end of the day, meditating on Paramatma, right? That's what we want.
Yeah, it becomes meditating on Paramatma only. So yes, we want to purify myself. Like, why am I even doing all this stuff? Not for the sake of Paramatma, in the sense that Paramatma doesn't need us to do all this stuff, right? He has everything in the whatever he wants, right? It's not like I'm going to make Paramatma rich, or I'm going to clear Paramatma's karmic bondage, or I mean, it's not. We are not going to do anything for Paramatma. Just like I'm serving Paramatma doesn't mean that he needs us. Okay, so that's not the case. And you're saying that don't focus on all these material things. Then why am I doing all this stuff for? I'm doing it to clear my karmic bondage. I want to reach a stage, right, where I do not want to take birth again. That is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, first is that I'm focusing on that aspect.
A supreme goal.
I
or
am-
the ultimate.
I am Atma. This is me, right? I'm different from all these things. So I start meditating on, okay, I need to achieve this particular state. But soon we'll realize that my efforts are not going to make me realize Atma. It is Paramatma who is going to make me realize. So we will start focusing on Paramatma. He's not saying that here yet, but
Yeah,
we
that's
will
the
get to
thing.
it.
Maybe we could have said right here itself, all the slokas, okay, meditate on me kind of a thing, right?
It will come, immediately it will come.
Yeah, next.
Yeah.
Next
So
chapter.
we are meditating on Paramatma. We will start meditating on Paramatma with the focus that Paramatma clear my karmic bondage. You are the one who will clear my karmic bondage. So we are, we basically start, that bhakti phase. So and then we will not be interested in realizing ourselves. We'll be just interested in the bhakti of Paramatma. Then this will go secondary. Okay,
Yeah.
as long as I'm serving Paramatma, praying to Paramatma, worshipping Paramatma, it's good for me.
Okay, thank you.
It's a long story, and we have to combine all of that into like a small capsule, and then we should be able to. I mean, if we are able to do that, then that is ultimate. That will be ultimate. And all of you, most of you, I think, memorized all 700 slokas. So it's so wonderful. Like it will be on your fingertips any day. So
No, but I remember only probably two Balaji Garu and Param Garu. I think maybe I don't know. We'll say.
yeah. So you'll be able to immediately think of, okay, this is where he said, this is what I need to do, immediately. So
We
need
are
to
all
come to
relying on Badri Garu. You know.
No, I'm far off. You're relying upon the rest of all the gurus, right?
You will
Balaji.
get there. You will get. You're
All of
fine.
you.
Thank you so much. We'll
Thank
meet
you.
again next week. We'll conclude with the concluding prayer. कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि श्रीमन्नारायणायेति समर्पयामि सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु ॐ अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः जय श्रीमन्नारायण जय श्रीमन्नारायण
Thank you.
जय श्रीमन्नारायण